Right then, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson, Ronaldo Brown. What's happening now?
Why did you roll that R like that?
Don't know.
There's just, you can have normality in it. You just don't have to. You have to do that. To be fair, I had a question to ask you.
Oh, why?
Do you want some?
Nope.
That was a bit harsh, innit? It's like asking a former alcohol addict if they want some liquor.
I don't know how many days deep I am now. Do you know what? I got over a month and I was like, right, I'm done now, and I'm not even counting anymore. So I'd have to try and work out when it would be. So it was like the week before we went to America. Saturday before we went to America. Are you
going to get yourself like a 60-day pin, etc.? Like I'm 60 days clear of Red Bull. Because I'm
probably like 40.
Because Janine had a thing about me basically having a Red Bull next to her when she's gone 20 days without one.
Oh, she on that as well?
Isn't the notion that caffeine isn't actually like that bad for you? It's not like super bad for people.
Caffeine?
Yeah.
No, I don't think caffeine on its own is. I think the problem with Red Bulls is it's the sugar and the and like the heavy dose of caffeine that you're getting. I think.
Okay. Or maybe the reliance of it.
Well, you're having like half a dozen a day. It's not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. But anyway, enough about the caffeine talk. As you can see on the thumbnail, we've put Sancho to Chelsea because Romano has tweeted that that is a deal that is very much on, and Sancho's basically already agreed.
How are Chelsea signing players, mate?
Do you know what? I think I worked this out, or I just looked at it. They've signed an insane amount of players on insane contracts, and they've spent quite a lot of money, but they've actually made a lot of money in sales as well. And I think Chelsea are very much more in the green than people think because of that. And a lot of the players they do sell are academy graduates and academy players that count towards pure profit. So it just helps.
But on that note, that news broke last night that they're no longer allowed to like sell their facilities to themselves.
Yeah.
So there's obviously, it's not all swimming at Chelsea. And not only that, they got 20 players that they've got like 12 hours to move on. Less than.
Yeah, they have about 10 proper first team caliber players that aren't even training.
Raheem Sterling.
And Raheem Sterling that aren't even training with the squad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if they don't ship them out, I think they'll probably.
Not only that, they can't even register them. You're only allowed to register a certain number. So like you can't even register them. So you're like,
what you're thinking as a player though, if you've got basically 12 hours to leave, otherwise you're just going to basically rot and playing for the 18s and 21s, or.
I would think most professional players, knowing that they've got a 10 to 15 year career at most, want to get on their toes. I'll go Bristol, I'll go Luton, I don't give a shit, get me out of here. But then you've got the others who go sign a contract, and probably like a 30-year one, with it being Chelsea in the last couple of years as well. I am on a fat contract, I'm going nowhere. Because there's loads of players that, where you think that, you'd go, right? Nah. I'm chilling. Unless they can get a loan. Loan maybe is the halfway house between them.
Everyone's saying to the Chelsea project, especially players, it's because obviously you're getting a decent wage bracket. I don't think the wages at Chelsea are as insane as people may think they are, especially because a lot of the players that they sign are quite young. But the incentive is for it to rise if they perform. But obviously, other than Sterling on 300k a week, I think the rest of their wage structure isn't the worst. But I think players are looking at it like, I've got a potential, like almost assurance in it of being of a 5, 6, 7 year contract, of knowing that if they want to cut me loose, I'm going to be entitled to quite a huge payout, etc.
But I think you're going to end up rich anyway. That's what I almost want to say to some players. You're going to be rich anyway. You might as well enjoy your career.
Is football that much of a sure thing? It's a very short career as well.
But you're not going to lose, are you? Like, think about this, right? You sign this contract today. You get this contract today. They sign someone else in your position. You can ice yourself for 7 years and see your entire career out. There is no second contract. Chelsea won't give you a contract and no one else is giving you a contract. Whereas if you dip, take a pay cut, play, you might end up surpassing that contract. And we know footballers are winners. They're the best player that anybody knows to get to the level that they're at in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I can't understand the mentality of someone who just shrug their shoulders and say, sweet, yeah, I'll play it.
I think that's
or not play it.
I never begrudge players for being for having financial incentives with the way that they operate their career.
No, I get that. But I almost think that you're short-sighted. I think that you could earn more. Like, you could earn more. Let's say you're on 350 grand a week now, right? Let's say Sancho, for example. He's on a fat rack at United. Let's call it 300 just for argument's sake, because I don't know what it is, and you probably don't know what it is either. But let's say he's on 300, right?
Yeah.
He could easily sit there at United on that probable 5-year deal and just shrug his shoulders and play Pro Evo for 5 years, right? But that's the end of his cash. That's the end of it. You've got that contract, but that's the end of your contract. Now, if you took a pay cut, go to Chelsea for, let's say even half, 175, 150. The rent's paid, mate. You know, but you might get at 150. I would hope so.
Do you know? That's what I don't know. I think wealthy people that are living off a certain amount of income. It's the whole living to your means kind of theory, where someone could be on 300k a week, so they're living like someone that's on 300k a week. So when they get their wages slashed in half, it might actually affect them in terms of some of the assets and the things that they are actually paying for at that time. I think that's probably what they're thinking of as players. Because people think, oh, well, if you're on 300k, why can't you just take 100k? You're still basically richer than 99% of people. But still, the means you might be living at will be affected. I
get that. And there's also the ego thing that you don't want to be seen to take a pay cut. But I'm just thinking, if you fast forwarded from being 21, sitting on a 5-year contract, not wanting to move, just happy on that 300k, where are you at 31? 5 years after that contract's finished, versus where would you be at 31 if you went, this isn't working, let me take one step backward to take 4 steps forward. You might surpass that cash that you're on.
Might is a massive word in that, though.
But here's the thing. I can guarantee you're not getting a better contract than that for 5 years of sitting on your ass.
I don't know. It's an interesting one, but by all accounts, if we talk about Sancho to Chelsea looks like it's viable. The bridge definitely seemed like it was burnt anyway with Ten Hag. I think the whole they came together and they almost realigned. I think that was a massive mirage. I think.
Yeah,
I think the relationship was burnt from.
It was playing the game.
Do you know what I mean? It was kind of playing the game.
Playing the game to get out. Ten Hag playing the game to protect the value for the club. Yeah. Otherwise, no one's truthful. No one's truthful.
It's just not worked. Sancho to United has just not worked whatsoever, and it has been. I think people talk about the Anthony transfer being one of the worst, but I don't think the Sancho transfers. If you're looking at it in hindsight, it's not much worse than the Anthony one. If I'm honest,
it might be worse.
And I think for United to move forward, Sancho definitely needs to go today, even if he does go to Chelsea, which looks like.
How much is he going for? Do we know?
I think it might be a loan of obligation that people are touting, but I think United are going to want an actual transfer fee.
That works.
Because even Zayn, who's great on Twitter, by the way, in terms of his aggregating, Mike Keegan just grabbed Dan Ashworth. This must have been at the Europa League draw. And he said, Dan Ashworth said, I had a few missed calls in the draw. I kept getting nudged from Sir Dave Brailsford. My phone was vibrating. Let's see what happens. The window is still open. We've got some conversations going on. That is right from Dan Ashworth's mouth to Mike Keegan.
Is that ins or outs or both or neither?
That could be both. Yeah. That could be both. But
damn.
Dan Ashworth's basically confirmed that stuff's happening today. And I think Sancho leaving.
Imagine we pull another one out. Incoming.
What would... I don't... United have been working a lot quieter, especially under INEOS in the transfer window. Things come out more as a bit of a surprise. But I think United's budget's pretty much done. But are United looking at it as if Sancho goes and it's a decent fee, they might...
Has it just unlocked another one?
But
Anthony from the top turn... Not Anthony, sorry.
But United have also said...
Ivan Toney from the top turnbuckle.
Nah, I don't think so.
Not when he's looking at 600 racks
600
off
racks.
Saudi.
Nah, you ain't missing out on
measure
that.
Measure me up for one of them thobes.
Not at all. But I think United see it as Sancho doesn't even need to be replaced if we sell him, so I don't know. But 25 millish is probably the price that people are talking. I see Daniel Berry put it there. I think 25 mil, you're taking a huge loss on Jadon, but I think it's about getting rid. And also, we're talking about the reset at United. A lot of that comes from like culture and like the camaraderie and the ethos of the team. And I think Sancho, getting rid of him, kind of the dark cloud, him being at the club seems to be casting with him in the relationship with the manager, etc. And his attitude problems on occasion. I think it's better for him and it's better for United for him to go today, and I think that's why I think he's definitely going to, and it'll be very Sancho-like for him to go to Chelsea and actually do okay, but I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is as well, it doesn't take much, does it, for in a team meeting, a look, a tut, a sigh, just something in a team meeting setting where, let's say they're looking at tape from the last game and they're looking at when Ahmad maybe should have had a shot and this, that, and the other, and all it needs is Sancho to be like just something like that can proper undermine every sort of thing that the team's doing going forward. And I wonder if you get rid of that, you help galvanise. That can be the 1% that you need to win some matches that you would have lost previously. Because that's all it is that you're talking about. 1% improvement or decrease, and you win games or lose games that you shouldn't have done.
Yeah. As numero uno says, I don't like Sancho, but I don't like the idea of selling him before Rashford and Anthony. Rashford's come under a lot of flack again after the Brighton game as well. But I think, do you know what? I think putting Rashford with Anthony is a bit harsh.
Yeah, and I think saying that you would rather sell Rashford before Sancho, before a guy that, okay, we don't know the entire truth of what's gone on, but a guy that's genuinely took the piss out of the club over the last couple of years. No, Rashford's been poor. He's not took the piss out of the club though, has he? He's done some stuff that's got him disciplined, but he's not took the piss out of. You cannot put them on the same bracket and say, yeah, those are the same. They're not. They're just not. Yeah. They're not in the slightest.
Yeah, exactly. Ivan Valdivia says, what is a reason that Sancho didn't work out? What do you reckon that reason is?
I don't know.
It could be style. His winger type isn't massively suited to the Premier League.
The pressure of United.
The Premier League, the pressure. Maybe just his commitment. It could be a number of things, but I also think Sancho is a winger that doesn't suit United style or Ten Hag style, but he also, in terms of the Premier League, I think it's become so physical where everyone's really quick and powerful, and I think you just need to be that minimum to survive now in the Premier League, and I think he doesn't have that a little bit, and if he is to play in the Premier League, he has to play quite centrally, which I don't know if he can do either.
I'm just going to get the chat up.
Oh, you can't see it?
You're not logged in. No, I was going to get the super chats up, but you're not logged in. No. Tom says, Steve, do I feel better for not drinking the Red Bull? Had my first can the other day. I used to drink too much of it. First can in 20 years. God damn. Do I feel better? Yeah, and do you know why? It's those sugar crashes. Probably a combination sugar and caffeine crash. Like, I'd get home from work at 5, 6 o'clock, and the last thing I want to do is go to the gym. Whereas this week, I've been at the gym at 1 a.m.
I think I've only done like a midnight gym session once or twice, and they are good sessions, isn't it? You can go home, shower, and just thump.
I like not having anybody in the gym. I really like that. Like, I just need a fucking house big enough to have my own gym, and then I'd never have to go to the fucking gym ever again, like a public gym. Because I just fucking hate it.
Yeah, but the thing is with gyms, especially 24-hour ones, gyms become so popular, like especially gym culture. I think it's almost more common for people to say, when you back in the day, if you said you go to the gym, it sounds like quite niche. But now it's almost sounds, if you say you don't go to the gym, people look at you funny. That's almost what the culture is now. When I've been to the gym at like 11, 12 at night, and it's still got loads of people in it. So you don't think it's, do you know what I mean?
I've never been late to this one here that we go to. But I can imagine that one never gets quiet. So that was one Justin Timberlake came to.
You turn up to the gym 1 a.m. thinking you're going to be the only one in there, and it's still like got a good 20, 25 people in there.
I did the Stairmaster the other day, and I did an hour, and I absolutely destroyed myself to the point where I just needed to go and sit in silence and not move, and I didn't move. It was a pure gym, right? And at that time of night, they have, I don't know if anyone even knows this, but they have motion sensor lights, pure gyms, right?
Yeah.
So I sat there for that long that the lights went out. I was like, oh shit. on my own in the dark here. As soon as I stood up, the lights came on again. But I was like, fucking hell. I've never noticed that before, where the gym's gone completely dark.
Almost straight out, you know.
Side Arms says, I was thinking about this the other day. What if you had a heart attack in a pure gym on your own?
Touch wood, Jesus.
How do the paramedics get
in? They get in probably the next day when you get found. Probably. That's probably what happens.
Bring a mop.
Do you know what I mean?
Because I was thinking, shit, Jesus. Anyway, on that note, Paul says, Steve, after my heart attack and 3 stents fitted a month ago, Jesus, no sugar, no booze, healthy eating. I feel the best having a long time kick the Red Bull. Red Bull's done. It's done. I don't drink Red Bull anymore. It's over. I'm not going to say how long I'm in because I'm like, that's the one.
Yeah.
Side Marsh says, I do miss the times when we look into the best players outside the top 6. That has been probably the only go-to strategy that's the most effective, where you buy the best players in your league. That always works. The problem with the Premier League that now is everyone in the Premier League is rich. So you get your ass. You get fucking Everton thinking they can get 70 million for turds like fucking Jared Branthwaite. And you just think it's just not on. It's
backfiring massively as well because Everton look like full-on relegation candidates, and I will be there when that happens. This animosity that I've got for Everton, just
irrational.
But you know, it's like the way that they bombarded me for certain things that I said. Mm-hmm. I don't know. They found my Twitter account as well, and they've just been on my ass, and they've been unbearable as well. And even the way that they're behaving in terms of pricing us out with Jared Brathwaite for 70 mil. I just think it's going to be hilarious when they get relegated,
for 20.
And then United might. The thing is, are you petty enough that you don't massively rate Jared Branthwaite, but if we could get him next year for 20 million because he got relegated, you just take it?
Well, maybe, but I don't think he's United quality. So it doesn't matter how cheap he is.
That's more about his potential. He might be. I don't think he's.
But the thing is, Rude likes him, doesn't he? So there's a good chance that you do end up seeing him at United.
He's only 21 though. Do you think he could get better? I know you've seen flaws in the game,
but I think I don't want centre halves that go to ground. Call me old fashioned.
Lenny Yoro goes to ground quite a lot.
He does.
He's almost got the Inspector Gadget legs.
If you look at him at Little,
Wan-Bissaka
about him.
Yeah.
Dada Caesar says, Steve, as we are stuck with Anthony, any chance we can train him as a left back? I don't think he wants to play left back though. You know, like when he gets told to go left back, he does that thing like he has the same reaction to when you give a throw in against him, which was definitely a throw-in against him, but he feels like he has to appeal everything. On one hand, I like that he appeals everything. On the other hand, just it's their throw, mate. Calm down. Yeah. Always fit, good left foot, not shy with defensive work. The problem is, filling in as a left-back for a single match is one thing. Playing a dozen Premier League games on the bounce in any position is different, and that's the difference. You can see Alexander Butner can come in for a single game and look good, but you can't come in and play a dozen games and blag it. Like you can't, can you?
Butner,
you get found out.
Butner sold me a dream, you know. He was all right. First couple of games looked decent,
that's the thing, man. Like, anybody can come in and you go, it's all right, him, you know. And
did you think he was all right first couple?
Yeah.
I don't
think I had Twitter at the time. Or maybe I wasn't as active on
he looked
Twitter.
Like Butner. He come in, he looked like he decent going forward. He looks like he had a bit of a bang of a left foot and he just went to shit.
Poet said, Steve said Sancho to Juve was confirmed. I was reiterating the reports that was out there, mate. It's not my fucking news. Matt G says, which one United transfer would I undo? Anthony,
100%.
Anthony.
Because of the way that FFP and PSR is now, when you have one really bad transfer that's massively overpriced, I think it affects you for like the next couple of windows in terms of your budgeting. Also,
I think it affects the manager standing with the fans and the squad, to be honest. Because anything he does, people go, Gunny89 says, just seen the clip of Dan Ashworth hinting at more moves INEOS are cooking. It's just what someone competent would do with the football club, and it just shows you how badly fucking run we were. Razmeister says, won't happen, but I wouldn't mind United going in for Ward Prowse as a squad player from West Ham. That's not a bad shout, you know.
Yeah.
That is a good shout.
Not bad.
Who has? Well, Prauzora, so he's going Nottingham Forest, which is not Manchester United.
The only reason Sancho didn't work is because Ronaldo Brown wouldn't get out of bed to say hi to him last pre-season. Nah, I don't think so. Listen, this is what I mean. The whole Sancho thing and his behaviour is weird to me because the one that I knew, like before he went to Sancho was like a really nice guy. I think the most really cool guy, really nice. You interacted with him. He's actually pretty chill of a fellow. He's quite subdued. He's not like massively outspoken.
No, but Marcus is the same sort of way. Like quiet
Marcus
guy.
Is like that.
What's interesting now is Marcus was very quiet on this tour with the fans. Like, so that's, I've mentioned this a couple of times.
I think he's got his guard up now. Innit?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
But he was extremely guarded and quiet and sort of kept himself to himself. What's very interesting is the people he was hanging around with as on last summer was Wan-Bissaka, Brandon Williams, and Jadon Sancho. None of them play for Manchester United anymore. So, on one hand, you
Sancho's
go... hopefully, none of them play for Manchester United anymore. So, on one hand, you go, well, get some new mates, get some better influence. Yes, maybe, right? Because I know that Scott McTominay sort of hung around with, like, Tom Heaton, Harry Maguire, you know, just a bit of a different kind of crowd. I wonder...
The geezers.
I wonder... who Marcus gravitates to. I get the impression that he'll be no one. I'd get the impression he'll just completely close off, and I don't know if that's a positive thing.
Oh yeah, people are saying that a lot of his mates have left. Even people from like a couple of seasons ago, when you see him and the players that he usually hangs around, he's like literally the only one left.
He's busy mates with Malacia, isn't he? Allegedly, like we see photos of him like going out for lunch and all the edge and stuff. So maybe Malacia.
And we're usually not quite sure whether Malacia exists or not. I think he's almost Malacia is basically the antidote for him is you got to see him to believe it. That's what I've come to the conclusion. I only believe he's a person when I see him on like a video or a training. If not, I don't think he exists.
BPM Acid Phase says, would Ivan Toney make sense as a final transfer? I genuinely would absolutely lose my shit if at fucking 10, 11 o'clock tonight INEOS went, anyway, lads, Ivan Toney. Oh, can you imagine?
No, you need to stop. Where is he going to fit? We have two strikers already. He just blocks their development.
We had 4 when we signed Robin Van Persie. Who gives a fuck?
I told you that. We spoke about this. It's a different time now,
It's a different time.
Is Toney a needle mover? Yes. Does he start ahead of Højlund and Xerxes?
I'm not sure. Well, I don't know.
Ivan Toney's better than Højlund. He is.
Numero Uno says, what an excuse Rashford misses his friends. I never said that was an excuse. I was literally just talking about the facts of the situation. Like, I never said it's a good or bad thing. I literally just, like, people have just got some mad fucking blind spot with Rashford that I don't understand, to be honest.
I think, you know what it is? What's hurt Rashford, I said it, is his performances over the past few years, for the most part, haven't been good enough. But what irks fans the most is not just poor performance, it's when, like his body language and his kind of certain behaviours is after.
Body language absolutely.
That proper sticks in the craw, fans, and I can't begrudge fans for being upset with that. So when you're underperforming, but then you also almost like separate yourself from the fans in terms of looking like you don't want to be here at times, and you kind of just, even the way he's interacted with fans of late in terms of being standoffish at events and stuff, I think that rubs the fans the wrong way even more. Do you know what I mean? If Rashford was playing poorly the past few years, but you can see him busting a gut and seeing like he cares all the time. Not saying that he doesn't. It's a bit different. Do you know what I mean? So,
no, and I think body language absolutely matters. Like, it shouldn't, but it does. It does. It does. It genuinely does. I know people are in the comments saying like, Tony's going to Saudi. I know he's going to Saudi. Someone just said, which one would like blow you up? And I think like, Toney as the final transfer, I'd be like, oh shit, like I think that'd be the one.
Yeah, but all right, so like, because there's all sorts of carnage. I think Chelsea is still waiting to see it sign if they didn't sign.
Would you say Nicholas Jackson?
Awesome, Nicholas Jackson.
Let's say they get Osimhen in. Nicholas Jackson gets told, hey, it's not your squad number no more, lad.
Nah, because
go sit over there on the crate.
The thing is with Nicholas Jackson comes in and he's just, it's another like.
But he's a backup striker.
Yeah, but he's another developmental striker. Backup.
He'd be back up to Højlund.
Is Højlund?
But he'd be a good backup.
Is Højlund right now, in terms of prospecting for the future, I think Højlund would start just in terms of like pathway and stuff. So he probably would start ahead of Jackson here. But in terms of right now, is he definitively a better player than Jackson? I think they're on the same kind of developmental kind of process.
I see I see an X factor in Højlund, and to be fair, there's some things that Nicholas Jackson does really well that I don't think he gets a lot of credit for. Yeah,
I think Højlund's got all the tools to be like one of the world's very best, and we got to remember he's still very young. Is he still only 20, 21?
I think he's older than that now. 21, 22.
No, he's very, very young. So it's one of those.
What if Frankie de Jong got announced as a surprise transfer?
Ooh. Frankie de Jong. Do you know what?
It could happen.
It's more. I think I got to a point with de Jong where I don't want de Jong anymore. Do you know what I mean? De Jong rejected us so many times. His wife opening her mouth talking about Manchester being terrible.
Yeah.
His crazy wages. I think we're too big for that. I think de Jong, that ship sailed. But I think if he was to do a little bit of a bomber from Dan Ashworth, I'd rather it be a midfielder out of nowhere.
I think you'd see Ten Hag wanking in Greggs if
he went to de Jong.
If Dan Ashworth just texts him saying FDJ done.
And I don't want to be that guy.
He's like, get me all the sausage rolls.
I don't want to be that guy though. But I also don't want. I can't deal with another Ajax player coming in. I know it's almost become farcical with the former player Ajax thing. I think that needs to. That's one of the things I want INEOS to stop.
No more Dutch players for now.
That sounds xenophobic. I'm more talking about the whole
rude,
like just buying ex-Ajax players.
I'm obviously not averse to signing Dutch players. What I'm saying is, it just make a clear marker that it's not Ten Hag's WhatsApp group transfer policy, because that's what it looks like it's been at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah. Nah, I don't know. Is he just trying to? The thing is, that what Dan Ashworth said about stay tuned, my phone's ringing, see what happens. Obviously, he's much better at his job, but that's a bit Edward Woodian, isn't it? A little bit.
Well, no, because Woodward would have told you exactly who he was talking to. At least he's kept that off the table.
Every deadline day, I think under Ed Woodward, he was looking at like who is like the biggest star that I can sign for shirt sales.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we haven't signed a shirt seller, have we?
Do you know what I mean? For shirt sales, what is it? His famous line is it get the
we can
hair,
do things in the market that no one else can dream of. Others can only dream of.
It's going to get your the hairs on the back of your neck and all that massive features.
And the thing is that made it tiring as a fan. They loved the chase. They loved the gossip about who we were going to sign. They actually fucking loved those metrics. And you're like, they don't move the needle for me as a fan. I love what INEOS have done. And it'd be like, anyway, that's fucking done. Who next? And it's felt so efficient, probably because it hasn't dragged on for 18 months, that who we're getting. Yeah. I think next summer will be the one where you go, oh shit. And do you know what? It might not even be an oh shit at the time. It might be a Vidic and Evra style signing where you go, who are they?
Nah,
and then you look back at it and you go, wow, 10 years deep.
But on the midfielder one, to be fair, we have signed that 18-year-old Kone, and he might be someone that breaks into the team second half of the season. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So that's United looking to make their kind of Caicedo-ish find, so we've got to see how that goes as well. But if we're looking at the rivals around us, so we're talking about Sancho is going to Chelsea. They look like they're trying to still get Osimhen. Osimhen looks like he's chasing the money, though. Do you know what I mean? But
what's going on at Chelsea? What's the end game? What are they trying to get to?
They didn't. What's his name on Sky? Is it Sky Cabot? He did like a mad long thing. I put it in the chat. Why he basically explained. I don't know who at Chelsea told him to write that massive monologue. It was a massive paragraph about what Chelsea's business model is. It's about obviously signing young players on low wages for not crazy fees, giving them long-term contracts, but like
not crazy fees. Don't make me pull the receipts up.
It's just, but it's a lot of like 40s, 50s. Do you know what I mean? It's not like 80s, 90s. And they're selling, basically what they're doing is just selling a bunch of young players, but they think that by signing young players with a ceiling is if they don't work out, they still have sell-on value at the end of it because their wages aren't crazy high anyway, which is one of the massive things that's worked against United in terms of we struggle to sell players because their wages are so ridiculous that The selling teams don't want to pay. The buying teams don't want to pay the wages. So we have to compromise the fee a little bit further down so we don't get true value. So I don't know. I think it's going to end. I don't think it's going to work in the end for Chelsea. But right now, they can buy as much as they want because he sells so much, and that's the bit that people disregard. I think from homegrown players alone, they've earned over 100 mil.
Their wage bill's double everyone else's. Or it's got to be in the ballpark of that with the amount of players that just are not going to play for him this year. That's what cooks my head a little bit.
I think it is. I think United have dropped quite significantly on the wage
we've done well, especially if we get Sancho off there as well.
Yeah.
Like, we've done absolutely
INEOS have done absolute bits in this window in like resetting the wage structure.
Where would we be now if we'd have had them for the last 10 years?
Miles better. I think it. Do you know what? The way United have been run in the last 10, 15 years, especially when you compare it to how INEOS have done.
Fucking criminal is how we've been run.
I think United have done all right to kind of stay even as much afloat as we have. Honest to God.
It's literally like they walked in the pub and went, you, and you. You're now CEO, CFO, and director of football. And 3 footwits have gone like, oh, what, me? And they're like, yeah, here's $500,000 a year. You're on $4 million a year. Don't fuck it up. And they've gone, fucking hell. Yeah, we've just had like, half a dozen football fellas walk through the door. They've been here 2 fucking months. And everyone's going, United look different.
Yeah.
United are acting different. Oh, you mean, properly is the word you were looking for. Tron there with a super chat says, Howson, we have a player in B/G. Who's B/G? I'm assuming this means Bruno Fernandes, but I don't know where the B/G comes in.
B/G?
He says, plays every game, every year, 45 to 55 with cups, 3rd gen footballer, never injured. How can it be? DNA. Does he mean Bruno there? Who else could it be?
BG.
I don't know who he means there. But if you're talking about Bruno, I will say, right. Yes, it's DNA. How was Patrice Evra always fit? Guy was bulletproof. Bruno Fernandes, bulletproof. And you get some players that are like that, and you get some that are like Luke Shaw and Anthony Martial. It's just some people are different.
Tenago asked if Sancho will stay. He goes, as I know, yeah. I don't.
That's how you know he's chatting shit
I don't
in
buy
press
it,
conferences.
Man. Oh shit. Oh.
Laptop's dead. Ant says, just shocked Leisha hasn't chinned Sancho and Rashford. He might have done.
Oh, he means Bodo Glim. Oh yeah, because of the Europa League. The Europa League draw. I think that's one of the teams that we drew in the Europa League. Our Europa League group actually looks fairly easy, to be fair. But I think that's famous last words, innit? I just realised.
It's mad, innit? Like, we were talking about this upstairs before. So now there's no longer a group. There is a 36-team league, I believe it is. You get 8 randomly assigned games, 4 home, 4 away, and crack on with that. Best of luck. And it's like 2 teams from each pot, I think, that you end up with. Something like that, anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
It's backdoor Super League.
It is. It's definitely. It's a Super League alternate. But Steve told me upstairs that they proposed this new format for Europa League and the Champions League before they even suggested the Super League as well. But I think if you look at the Champions League, it looks somewhat Super League because the big guns are playing each other in group stages now, and I feel like that's what he wanted because they're thinking, what's a way that I can get the biggest teams playing each other more often for more money, more revenue. But I think it's just more games and more games every single year for the players as well. So I don't think the duty of care for them's being helped very much.
No, you can't just keep increasing the games. So yes, squads will increase, and ultimately that will benefit the bigger teams. The likes of the teams, like let's say in Ipswich, for example, still got League One players in the team playing Premier League football. They might be able to assemble 11, but they're not going to assemble a 25. They're not going to compete with the likes of City or fucking Chelsea's 50-man squad.
I think the whole
will just favour the bigger teams.
I think City. I hate having to give him.
All right, let's move it on. We've got a super chat there from Abhinav. Says, you guys feel like we still have some bad vibes around Old Trafford that always cast a negative light when something happens the past decade? No, I think we have a media that does that. Now, no matter what United do, they have to downplay it and fuck about. I don't think there's like Old Trafford's got nice vibes in it at the moment. Like people feel that positivity that the football board are bringing. I think it'll probably completely dissipate once the Glazers fuck off. If INEOS manage to get full control of the club and they continue to run it the way it's been run, trophies are inevitable, and the bad vibes will go once the Glazers are gone.
Yeah,
absolute fucking shit stain on a pristine white duvet they've been.
Fuck it. Yeah, they've been awful. So Rodro's told says Ten Hag literally confirms Sancho is staying v Simon Stone. I wouldn't be so sure whether that's actually true.
Don't listen to press conferences. They're gonna lie to you.
But even if I don't, the scenario is how tenable is it if Sancho did stay, because he's obviously not favoured at all by United. He clearly doesn't want to be here, Sancho, either. I just don't see how that works going forward. The relationship with the manager is terrible. I don't know. You just have kind of a lot. It's almost like dead cat when you refer to the NFL or the NBA. You're just having someone on huge wages that's not really enough for much of the team. I'm not sure.
Hydro says if it was Pogba doing some voodoo shit with a goat, 100%. I'll tell you what, the fucking curse his brother got. I don't think his brother was expecting the level of fucking curse to come through that work the way it works, is it? My God.
4-year ban. Because obviously, Steve, you know how much I was buzzing about when I did a little bit of research and background into Thiago Motta at Bologna, and he obviously got his move to Juve, and then Juve started like a house on fire. Could always be new manager bounce, but they also look really good. I think they've won their first couple of games 3-0. And you look at their squad, it's full of young players, but they've made a lot of good signings as well. Pogba's still on the team there, and that's what
he's on a contract.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm surprised he didn't cancel his contract actually, because that he's not going to be on nothing.
That's what I mean.
He'll be on racks. Now, they are either assuming that he's going to get off of it, going to appeal and get a reduced sentence, or
he's still on the
that he's going to come back in 4 years.
That's because I went to look, because I'm on Thiago Motta watch this season, so I might look at little Juve games. That's another thing I want to do this season. I want to watch more games in other leagues. I know you probably won't have time to do that, but I'm gonna try.
Well, you know, for the last 4 days, I've been man and boy lifelong Oklahoma University Sooners American football fan.
Yeah, you're a Packers fan, aren't
you? If I was gonna have an NFL team, I would lean towards the Packers. I think, yeah. But no, I decided I want to watch college football. They're playing tonight. They've got first game tonight. It's opening day of the season.
It's dedication keeping up with American sport.
Well, it's going to be on. It's going to be on till 3 a.m. Now, as those of us of a certain vintage know, 8-9 a.m. tomorrow we need to be getting Oasis tickets. I'm also at the physio 8 a.m. in the morning, so I'm going to be up till fucking 3. I actually don't even know where to watch it. You know, I have had a look. I'm thinking it's just going to be a dodgy stream, to be honest, but I wouldn't mind watching it proper because then it's good quality in it, and I'm not watching fucking pixels. I'll happily pay for it.
There's a massive get-through period initially when you first start watching American football, and then it either clicks for you or it doesn't, and when it clicks for you, it's great.
Well, I can watch American football, and I can enjoy American football, but I've never really bought into it because I've never really bought into a schedule, because I've never really gone, that's my team and I'm going to watch them week in, week out. That's why I've gone, nah, Joe, I'm going to pick a college team, because everyone tells me college is just a bit of a better vibe than NFL. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't have the experience to judge, but I thought, well, I'll listen to what people are saying. I'll give it a go. Oklahoma seems like a mad gaff, so I'm gonna see what the script is.
Yeah, because with me, I fucking love the NFL and the NBA. I think American football's class. I had to do that little period of getting through it, and then when you get through it, you realise how technical and how athletic it is. It's a great sport, but it's one of them. It's very Marmite. You either hate it or you love it. But I love it. Everyone always tells me it's. Like you can see Phil Berry saying American football is wank. Wesley Rank says American football is bobbins. Do you know what I mean? You know what it is? People hate what they don't understand. And it takes a bit to understand American football. And if you don't, you're not going to like it. Simple as. But
I don't understand cricket, and I do hate it. But I also think I understand it at the same time. Right. Ivan says college has a better vibe, but Green Bay Packers are the best. Lost that. Stop fucking spamming or I'll fuck you off.
Yeah, what's that about, man? What are you doing?
I'm not even going to read it. Tom says, I'm late. Sorry, did we talk about Ashworth comments? Yeah. Poet says, I live in Texas. Most people like college better than NFL because the players work harder because they have something to play for. It's probably bollocks, right? But I do see shit like that getting flung around.
They're playing for their prospective futures, isn't it?
Akon says, I tried college NFL. It'd be college football, wouldn't it? Last season, but couldn't keep up with the levels of the players, freshman, sophomore. Well, that's just what year they're in at school. That's all that matters.
Yeah, seen people put Eagles, Tampa Bay. I'm a New York Giants fan, so I was a Giants fan because I got into the NFL through the Odell Beckham Jr. catch, and then ever since then, New York Giants have been absolutely awful. So I've had a good 5 years now of being a Manchester United fan and a New York Giants fan, and it's been really, really difficult.
Have New York Giants been shit, have they?
They're very bad, man. and then also, but for the NBA, I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, so it's really random, but. And the Mavericks are actually good now, so I enjoy that. But
cool. I've got Oklahoma Sooners, Oklahoma Uni. I was really funny because I was just chatting to a mate who's invited us to go to Virginia Beach and hang out with some geezers that are in the SEAL team out there and do some shooting out there, which is about a bit of me as you can fucking get.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, Virginia Tech, they've got that Enter the Sandman sort of entrance, which looks absolutely bonkers. And I thought, I could get involved with that a little bit. But then that Oklahoma stadium, I think it's like 86,000 or some shit like that as well. And I was thinking, do you know what? They play in red.
Yeah.
They've got a bit of a story going on. I like it. And I had a quick look at what the tailgate situation was like, because that's important, man. Like, I'm not just going to say, oh, watch these. I'm going to go. You're going to see me in Oklahoma in a cowboy hat and a fucking steak somewhere, just fucking enjoying myself some fun football out there. I love just going fucking checking out different cultures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like when you were saying before, want to go and watch some games around Europe, my brain immediately went, flights to Turin about 30 quid, you know.
Fucking hell. Cheap.
That's what me and Statman Dave did for a bit, didn't we? I went and watched Marseille, went and watched Leipzig, went and watched Bilbao. Just cut about the gaff and go and get a cheap flight somewhere. Go and watch a fucking game. Go and experience football from a different angle. That's the move. I want to go Argentina to do it. I want to just fuck off for Argentina for a month and just fucking eat steak, drink lager, and go and watch fucking Boca Juniors. Like, I'm about that.
That'd be good content now. Just going around South America, basically experiencing all these different footballing atmospheres.
Yeah. Can you imagine some derby in Chile or something? Can you imagine? Off its fucking nut. The reason I can't do shit like that is because we had the fucking absolutely horrendous idea to start a football club, which now is like a full-time job that I don't get paid for.
I feel you. Oh, by the way, before we go on, there's a question. Obviously, people would want to know, but I was going to ask Steve anyway.
Cool.
Is the transfer window is not fully over, but after the first two games and United's transfer business, what are your actual realistic expectations for what United could achieve? Do you think the pressure is heightened?
We can't predict the vast number of injuries we're probably going to get. Hoping for not as many as usual. Is that what we say?
Yeah, that takes into account. But the thing is, with injuries, that's not exclusive to United.
No.
And one of the things that I was saying is, when you're thinking about United and their improvement on how well we do this season, sometimes you got to remember that United aren't operating in a vacuum.
No. You got to see it as everyone else improve.
Yeah, exactly. So
I said that all the time. Yeah. You can improve and finish lower in the table.
It's weird, isn't it? That's what's crazy about it.
We are not going to improve this year and finish 9th.
Yeah.
We are going to improve, and the position will improve. Whether it's enough to come top 3, top 4, top 5, I don't know. I would expect the expectations for Erik ten Hag will be Champions League qualification.
Be tough, do you reckon?
I think it's achievable.
Is that Villa? Is that I've put Villa in the top 4 in my predictions. Villa won the first game against West Ham. They lost.
Not got the depth though. They're like 2 injuries away from just fucking crumbling.
They got a big squad, you know.
No, I don't think they got the depth. Not in quality, I don't think.
Oh, you think quality?
Yeah.
They've got a lot of players though. They don't have. It's not like a thin squad. I think they stacked up knowing, but it's not like I think the quality.
And Chelsea could be literally fucking 3rd or 19th.
Did you watch Villa against Arsenal? Villa should have won that game.
No, where was we? No, we was driving down to Wales, weren't we?
It's the most dominating 2-0 loss I've ever seen. Ollie Watkins is an Arsenal fan and he says it all the time. And after that game, I definitely know he is. He missed 2 absolute sitters, by the way. I think the XG was they lost 2-0. Arsenal had 1.2 XG and Villa had 1.8 and lost 2-0. But it is what it is. Looking at Arsenal, they don't look like they've improved that much from last season, but I don't think they've had. I think that's because of the signings. They haven't really made any, have they?
Good.
But who knows, man? I think the expectations are going to be high, but as we've already seen, and Steve's done a rant and complained about, is that any time that United, because of the way the summer went in terms of the managerial stuff, anytime United have a loss or a bad performance, there's going to be all sorts of media carnage about whether he should keep his job or not. And I think United fans should just expect that for us this season. We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to happen. That Ten Hag and United are going to be watched like under a microscope. Do you know what I mean?
John says, question, when are the fans giving up on Ten Hag? Because looking at the squad, 4th is difficult to achieve. Right. Well, if 4th is difficult to achieve looking at the squad, why would that be the manager's fault if he doesn't achieve that? Think about what the fuck you're saying. If you go, that squad's well shit, why haven't we won the league? That doesn't make sense, mate. Does it? If you look at it and go, wow, that squad is on par with City, why are we 8th? That's a valid question. But you can't look at it and go, wow, that squad should not get top 4, why aren't we top 4?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man, think about it. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. If you can get extra Oasis tickets, I will go anywhere. I will go Edinburgh, Eaton Park. I will do fucking Dublin. I am not asked. If you would like me to come to the concert with you, I'll pay for my ticket. I'm not saying I'll do it for fucking frizzle. I'll pay for my ticket. I'm just not confident of getting one. They reckon somewhere like 1 in 40 are going to get a ticket out of what they're expecting for the traffic tomorrow.
Oh yeah. I know we didn't even touch on Mount. I did want to.
Oh yeah, Mount's injured. Water's wet.
Yeah, but that transfer's not looking too good at the moment either. And the one question I thought you answer because I'm not sure. What's worse, a leg break or an ACL? By Ashley and Deba.
I've never had either.
What? I think they're both equal.
They're both fucking problems. Yeah,
I think
sure.
ACL recovery's become better over the years in terms of obviously medically, but I think a leg break, I don't know, depends.
MK Dizzle says, Steve, surprised you want to see Oasis considering they're both big City fans. Have you ever seen any of the fucking videos I record at home? I sit in front of 2 Oasis posters at home. Have done for fucking a year. Something like that. Come on, man. Like, oh, they are both Oasis. They are both City fans. They're not the only people in the fucking band, mate. For one. And for 2, they're from round here. We all, unfortunately, do know a blue or 2. Elijah says, did you all see what Pogba had to say about Pogba? Evra had to say about Pogba coming back to United? I found it interesting and I agree with what he said. I haven't watched that, actually. Overlap's been dropping some bangers.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Ian Steele says water actually isn't wet.
Oh, fuck off. I don't want to be the technically water's actually just fucking molecules. Get some fucking mates. Right, in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.